Hello, Mike and Moose here. Do premium tools actually make you a better modeler? Or are budget builders proving that it's more about skill than money? By the end of this video, you'll know exactly where budget and premium approaches do and don't matter. We'll talk all about this, plus have our drawing for our Toyota Supra Kit next on Modeling with Mike. Hello, and welcome back to the desk. Let's start this video out by discussing what premium builders actually pay for, otherwise high-end modeling tools. And we're talking about precision tools. They offer comfort and ergonomics, unlike your budget tools, which are just basically made to do the job. High-end builders pay for consistency and speed. These tools do not necessarily make the build better. They just make it faster and easier on the builder. They pay for high-quality cutters, sanding systems, and airbrushes, instead of just individual sanding sticks lying around. They have a whole system in a holder, or instead of an airbrush that's there to do the job, they have a high-end one that doesn't clog up as often, or doesn't, need deep cleaning as often. And it makes the job easier, but not necessarily better. Here's the twist. As I said before, none of this actually makes someone a better modeler. Now let's talk about the strengths of budget builders, i.e., people who use budget tools. These people have creative problem solving. If they find a problem, they don't have this high-priced tool they can automatically go to. They have to think, how and what do I use to overcome this problem? They use DIY solutions because they don't have the money to go to buy a microsaw or a microset. They learn fundamentals without relying on specialty gear. They learn basically by doing, not by having a handy tool. They have more thoughtful technique development because they have to do it with budget tools. They do it right the first time. And they do skill building through limitations. And their limitations is funding, and therefore they rely on their skills, and they rely on their experience and know-how rather than relying on this expensive tool to hopefully do the job for them. As a matter of fact, many of the results I've seen come from modelers using cheap tools. Now, cheap tools versus premium tools. Can you really tell from a finished model which was done with which? If they're done right, not really. You can rarely tell whether a budget tool was used or a high-end tool was used, especially if the modeler is very experienced and very highly skilled. Judges themselves, when they're looking at that model, don't even know whether the builder used budget tools or premium tools. Nor do they care, because they're not there to say, what did you use on this? As a matter of fact, they don't even talk to the modeler most of the time. They're just there to look at what's on the table and judge it on its merits, not on what tools were used or what paint was used. And you know what that means? That means if you're a budget builder, you can compete with the big boys, with anybody. Don't think you can't. Now, let's talk about where premium tools do make a difference, otherwise known as best modeling tools to upgrade. Nippers, believe it or not, do make a difference. A pair of God hands will last longer than a pair of cheap nippers. That is true. Also, since they're more precision made, if you use them on the wrong stuff, you're going to ruin them like that. But if you use them the right way, they're going to last you forever. So nippers do make a difference. Sanding systems, believe it or not, they do make a difference because they cover the whole gambit of grits from, say, 200 to 10,000, and you don't have any gaps in there in grit. Airbrushes, when you are upgrading from a very poor quality, I'm talking about a Chinese cheapo $15 one, yes, absolutely they make a difference. Even if you're upgrading from a $15 Chinese cheapo to a Gallery GHAD 39, which is a damn good airbrush, by the way, it's like a difference between night and day. Cutting mats, if you're just using, like, I'll be honest, when I came back, I didn't have anything to cut on, so I used an old shower curtain that was folded to where it was real thick, where if I cut into it, it wouldn't go down to the table. Well, you know, that sort of worked, but when I got my cutting mat, which really aren't that expensive, by the way, made the whole difference. I mean, cutting mats are self-healing. You cut into an old shower curtain, that cut stays there. And believe me, it's going to interfere with your cutting if you hit it again. Cutting mats are self-healing. But don't get all hyper and spend your money yet, because next I'm going to tell you what premium gear makes zero difference in your modeling. So where do expensive tools not matter? You know, where's DIY scale modeling and cheap alternatives come in? Weathering, number one. You can do same job, and I keep showing you time after time on each build series. You can do the same weathering with makeup kits and pastels and budget brand oils than you can with name brand stuff. Washes, same thing. You don't need to buy Tamiya or, you know, whoever's panel liner for $6, $8 a bottle. You can buy a set of oils. You buy a jug of mineral spirits and you can mix it up into a wash. I do it all the time. Pigments. Go to your local box store and get some pastels and use your hobby knife. Take a little 5 minutes and scrape off some of that, and you got pigment that works just as well as an $8 bottle of pigment. Glues. I got a $4.50, $5 bottle of Gorilla Glue, CA glue, that did just as good a job as any other CA glue that I've tried. Clamps and holders. All my clamps I bought at Dollar Tree. It cost me $1 for the big ones. It cost me $1.25 for 3 of them. Smaller ones cost me $1.25 for 6 of them. I use them for everything. You don't need a huge, big name brand clamp. As long as it holds two fuselage halves together and doesn't crush them, you're gold. And rubber bands can do the same thing. I'm going to show you next video. I'm going to prove it to you next video. Now, some paints and thinners, not all. I would not go to the dollar store and get some of their acrylic craft paint for $1. That's crap. But say Kaleido paint from Gallery at $3.50 to $4 a bottle works just as well, and in some instances better than a $6 or $6.50 bottle of Vallejo Model Air. I proved that in my video reviewing the Gallery paints. So that right there shot that theory down. So yeah, you can get pro results here with $1 to $5 DIY alternatives. So what's the real difference between a premium builder and a budget builder? It isn't tools, people. It's mindset, not money. It's improving your scale modeling skills. Premium builders have efficiency and convenience. Their big name brand stuff don't make them better modelers. It just makes their modeling easier and faster. Their experience and their skills make them better modeler. Budget builders have more problem solving and learning because they're forced to overcome in a different manner the problems that arise in each build. And if something works, they keep that in their head and they use it. And remember, one is not better than the other because both approaches produce excellent results. The whole central message of this is that skill, patience, and practice beat price every damn time. Stew on that for a while. So what should you actually focus on? Here's some, if you're a beginner, here's some scale modeling tips. Concentrate on smooth sanding, okay? The smoother everything is, the better it's going to go together and the better the paint job and priming job's gonna be. The smoother it all is, the smoother the paint job's gonna be. You're looking for clean joints. Do you have a raised seam line in a joint? Like say two fuselage halves go together and you have a raised seam? Just take some time, scrape that down, then put some filler putty, maybe some sprue goo in there. Let it dry, then sand it down smooth. Boom, seam line gone. Here's a big one. You want solid paint prep, okay? If you know that there is mold release on your parts or oils on your parts or your parts are dirty, you must clean them in warm soapy water and let that dry before you do anything to them. If nothing is on there, if it's an older model and it has no oils or mold release agent, most of your older models, those things are going to be gone. I wouldn't worry about it. If you want to do it on every model, that's fine. That's your choice. And, you know, it's better safe than sorry. A lot of people say, yeah, true. Better safe than sorry. So if you want to do it, do it. It's part of solid paint prep. And make sure that everything's sanded smooth and ready to accept that paint and that primer. It's very important if you're looking for a nice smooth finish. Here's a big one, proper thinning. I really don't care if you have the highest Harder & Steenbeck, the highest price Harder & Steenbeck airbrush that they make. I don't care if you spent hundreds of dollars on your airbrush setup. If your paint's not thinned right, big deal. That thing's still going to shoot out watery paint that's going to run. You know, all an airbrush does is atomize and spray your paint. It doesn't magically make a bad mixture good. It doesn't do that. That's not its job. Okay, so if you don't have your paint thinned to the proper consistency, I don't care what airbrush you have, it's not going to work the same as a properly thin paint. And once you have your techniques down, consistently use them. If you have the fundamentals down, you have to consistently use proper fundamentals to get consistent results. Consistency, consistency, consistency. It's all about the fundamentals, people. I don't care if you're doing sports, I don't care if you're doing music, I don't care if you're doing budget scale modeling. It's all comes down to fundamentals. Every modeler, budget or premium, benefits from mastering the basics. Get your fundamentals down, people. So, before I get to closing the video, it's time for our drawing for the Toyota Supra kit from Tamiya, 1/24 scale. I'll send it out. Well, the plan is I'm gonna have the company think about getting it from Sprue Brothers, either them or Mega Hobby. I'm gonna have them drop ship it to whoever wins. So I have all the people who entered in this hat that I'm shaking. Hear them rattling around in there? All right, gotta reach in and grab one. I have one. The winner is at Pro Rayan1. It is your screen name is at PRO_RAYYAN1. So Pro Rayan1, congratulations. Get a hold of me through my email. You'll find it in the channel description on my channel homepage on YouTube. So go to the homepage on my homepage on YouTube, look under the channel description, and you'll find my email address, and send me your address so I can ship it to you. And I will also print your name on the screen here so you know it's you. So let's finish this video. So are you a budget modeler or a premium modeler? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. Don't forget about our Facebook group, The Frugal Scale Modeler. I always leave a link to it on my video descriptions. Just hit that link, it'll take you to the home page of the group, answer 3 questions about modeling and agree to the group rules, and you're free to start posting and taking part in all the activities. Don't forget about the gallery discount. I have a discount code with Gallery now. If you're on the website, enter MW Mike, all capital letters, all one word, at checkout to receive a 10% discount. And also I have a discount code to their storefront on Amazon. If you're on Amazon and you buy a gallery product at checkout, go enter SH48 Mike, all capital letters, all one word again, SH48 Mike, you'll get a 5% discount there. Let's see, also to make it easier to get to the Amazon storefront, I always include a link to a gallery product on Amazon. So you can use that to get on the Amazon storefront. Next video, as I stated in this video, I'm going to show you some products and tools for modeling from the Dollar General store. And I'm going to show you how effective they are in what you need to do in modeling. So That's coming up next. If you like what you've seen here lately, hey, hit like and subscribe. Those buttons help the channel out a lot more than you think. So hit like and subscribe if you like what you're seeing. I don't have anything else for you. So you know what we always say around here, never stop pushing your modeling boundaries. Until next time, we'll see ya.